Students, prior to discuss today questions, explain intra-generational and inter-generational issues of equity from the perspective of inclusive growth and sustainable development. These questions was asking in 2020 Civil Service Mains 150 words. 10 marks question is there. Prior to discuss these questions, I would like to share something. Now the students are shifting from book to AI. They are searching the number of answers from artificial intelligence. But, and as my personal experience and my colleague gave me some their experience in other institute, that students are writing answers for mains examinations on the basis of AI. They go through the internet, search out the answer of AI, but this AI answer for UPSC is not a good method. I again advise all of you to follow the standard book. Why I say, if you go through these questions through AI, you will see the factual analysis is there. There is no data, no explanations which we are needed for UPSC, and there is no some kinds of original answer, if I like to say that question's answer. Means artificiality is there, similar to artificial intelligence. This doesn't show your intellectual if you are writing by cramming the answer of AI, because 99% the students who are going to be appear in mains, they would like to prefer to write down the answer from AI. Why I say? Now you can understand when analyze these questions, because they are asking explain. You have to explain the two concepts, intra-generational and intergeneration, with respect of inclusive and sustainable development. Inclusive and sustainable development. Without data, without analytical explanation, you can't get maximum marks in your civil service. Average marking will be there if you write down the answer on the basis of AI or through other means of internet. That's why student, I advise you to go through the standard book on Indian economy, as I priorly discussed with you this topic. These kinds of books you have to read, a test book on Indian economy, other government report which are necessary, white paper of the government of India, etc. The daily newspaper, standard newspaper like the Hindu, Economic Times, etc. After then you assimilate this knowledge and write down in your original skill rather than cramming skill. Means there should be some kinds of original answer rather than artificial answer which you will mug up from the AI. I again repeat and advise you not to follow that kinds of exercise which can harm you or you failed you in coming mains examinations. 5 lakh, more than 5 lakh students appear in preliminary, and only some will go top ranking in IAS, and not more than 800 posts are there. Now come on that. Just you think there are the two words, that is, first you understand the meaning, then you organize intra-generational, and second word is intergenerational. There are the two words, and they are saying issue of equity. In both, you have to discuss the issue of equity. Issue of equity means equal distribution, equal division, equal opportunity. equal consumption, equal everything on the ground of economy. Issue of equity. Issue of equity. If you go through intra-generational means among present generation, you are talking about present generation, the question of equity. In case of intra-generational means present and future generation. You are talking present generation and future generation. Future generation. We are talking two things. When we are thinking equity of the resources or every economic aspect with respect of intra means present and future, or you can say if we follow sustainable development pattern in present, very simple definition, without compromising the future generation needs or demand, if we meet the present generation demand, now you have to give in the data regarding this. Means what kinds of resources we have presently, what kinds of degradation is there, water availability, soil fertility, environment protection, are they protected completely or some extent degraded, temperature, how much extent it is increasing, greenhouse gases, what is the strategy of development, are our development is sustainable. I quote you multiple data for the explanations and with related present scenario. As you can see, 75,000 crore rupees project of Andaman Nicobar. A larger area of forest covered will be eliminated for the concrete type of development. That kinds of decay in the environment are we have today. 33% forest cover area? No, that is not 33% forest cover area. Are our agriculture is sustainable development scenario? No. Only you can say Sikkim state are using, that is zero budgeting natural farming technology. Rest of the area we are using over fertilizer, nitrogen, phosphate, calcium, which were needed actually. That ratio is something different which we are consuming. That is 4:2:1 we are getting, but we are consuming 9.26:6:2. That is kinds of deterioration in fertility. Soil fertility, it may be Punjab, Haryana, Paschim Uttar Pradesh, etc., or Western Uttar Pradesh, etc., where the fertility of soil is degrading. Environment pollutions, you can say air quality index everywhere in mega cities always more than 400 every year. Is it sustainable development? Means there are the questions which you have to discuss here, but your word limit is 75. It means you have to write down 75 words on this one, 75 words on this one. If I say this, it means this is related to sustainable development, and this is related to inclusive development. Now, if you write only 75 words on this, you have to very clear what is the meaning of inclusive development. Inclusive development based on two pillars, financial and social inclusion. Give the data, how much extent we are achieving the target of financial inclusion in India. How much percentage of total population's access to the banking facility. It is vary from state to state, somewhere is 90%, somewhere 10% or 15, 20%. It doesn't mean we are not getting equity in case of financial inclusion in all over part of India. Community-based disparities are there. Marginalized section of the society, SC, ST, OBC, they are excluded from the financially and socially both, they are not financially and socially included. Yet government are implementing different scheme, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, and number of persons covered by this one Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, but they are not getting. Further, you have to explain the other parts of this inclusive development, what they are. Poverty ratio, unemployment ratio, inequality in India, empowerment of women, SC, ST, OBC, better governance, environment protection is also part of this inclusive development. Means these things you have to summarize in shortest point, and these things you have to summarize in 75 words. Now, what will you write? Now you can understand, student, very easily. As I told you, data, don't go through again, I say, different artificial intelligence that can harm you, or you can use this AI with the help of expert of any subject or topic which will help, or their lecture or their things which they will provide you notes etc. can help you. By the merger of AI and expert you can get the best answer. And when you write in mains a same stereotypic answer, you will get minimum marks, not good marks. That's why I suggest again and again. Now come on the executions. How would you write? There will be the three portions again: introduction and expansion and conclusion. As you have write down 15 words, 15 words, and rest of the 100 words. In 100 words, 50 words on intra, 50 words on inter, and this is intergeneration. How would you like to write down yourself? Introduction. Intra-generation relate to equity among present generation. Intra-generation relate to equity between present and future generation. This is your introduction. In first para, either you explain this first intra-generational. Our government introduced inclusive development. That means based on financial and social inclusion, so that we can achieve the target of equity among the present generation. And recent economic survey shows that unemployment, poverty, inequality are decreasing consistently. They are respectively 5.3%, 3.5%, inequality 0.33 GCR, women empowerment is there, SC, ST, OBC empowerment is there, governance is better due to digitalization. Some extent we are decay from the environment protection. In this way, we are achieving inclusive development as above data shows. Again, come on that second topic which you have to write down, intergenerational. On this front, we are highly failed because our development pattern is not sustainable. It may be agriculture, industrial sector, service sector. Only some extent we are achieving this, but not fully, as environmental degradation, increasing percentage of greenhouse gases, decreasing fertility of soil, degradation of forest covered areas. All data you can use here. As I told you, our soil fertility, our productivity in comparison to other countries is very less. One, two example you can quote here, like India and America. American labor fertility productivity more than thrice for Indian labor productivity. AIQ always more than 400 in different mega cities in India. Environment temperature during summer season increasing more than expected 2 and 3 degree are base high. It means natural resources are decaying day by day. It may be water, it may be energy, it may be here, it may be other, they are not accordingly. Finally, you will conclude under this conclusion that it is right to say, some extent we are achieving inclusive development, but in case of sustainable development, we are far back in comparison to our target of sustainable development, but we are trying and certainly we will achieve as in present world as well as our economy decided the target, changing the policy. It may be energy, it may be development. And this way you can summarize this answer by changing your words. You can change students the quality of the answer, and in this way you can maximize your marks in mains 2026. I will come again with you with new questions previous year. As I decided expected questions I will discuss only in my online or offline classes, which is not for give on the YouTube channel, because this is a very important issue. Thank you.